Hello folks, how you doing? This is Gabriel Sirianni. I'm here with a legend, Kevin Rosier. This individual has fought countless fights in and out of the ring, and we're here with him today to be able to get this interview from him, to which a lot of people have been trying to get, and we're lucky enough to be able to land it with him. He's got an excellent story to tell, and we're here to give it to you. How you doing today, Kevin?
We finally meet.
Yeah, yep.
It's been a long time coming, huh?
Absolutely. You may know Kevin from looking at the his Wikipedia page, which is a fantastic page. It'll show you all of his stats as far as, you know, boxing, kickboxing, to where he had his most success, and also professional MMA, to where he had the opportunity to face off against a lot of other legends as well. So, you know, at this point, Kevin, we just wanted to be able to sit down with you a little bit and talk about like how it all started, you know. And I know that you started training at a pretty early age. You came up in East Aurora, which is right in, you know, our neck of the woods here. And you know, how exactly did you start? How old were you?
I believe I was 6 years old.
Wow.
And I was fascinated by a Japanese master at the time was working for Mobile Numerical Control. And I think he was a direct descendant of Gina Funakuchi, which is the father, if I'm not mistaken, of Shonin-ryu. And then later on in life, I had a chance to train with Yamaguchi the Cat and Aaron Banks in World Fighting Arts, which is Gojin-ryu. So what I did is I trained with the greatest master of all time, and I was blessed to train with Professor Dr. Shida at Brockport University, and I used to wrestle the Katora Judo Club. They used to get me ready for my fights when I fought Dan to be severed twice.
Wow. Now, what exact style did you train under?
I studied Gojin-ryu, Isshin-ryu, and then what I did is after getting out of the military, I put my own style together. It's called Rosier Karate, Rosier Kickboxing, and Rosier's MMA.
So what you did was just take what you learned growing
up
and kind of like encompassed it into your own style.
I stole everything.
Yeah.
I wanted to be known as the biggest thief in martial arts history.
Well, that's something that's smart to do, because then you're adding into your repertoire, which is already strong, and picking up more and more, to be more and more dangerous with your fists.
Well, the thing is, I'm a much better teacher than I am a fighter. I was a terrible fighter. I didn't want my students to take the same as me. By the way, Anthony Blaze Mario, I love you, Blaze.
Who's Blaze?
Blaze is, I got him when he was 16 years old.
Oh, okay, that's somebody that you were able to work with and train?
Yeah, his name is Blaze.
Nice.
And I like to say hello to Kenny Graziano. We used to fight in Toronto.
Nice. All right, so, you know, after coming up in East Aurora and actually having the opportunity to like train yourself and get the knowledge on fighting, like what was it that made you want to actually start to like trade hands with people? Like what did you like about actually fighting? Like did you?
Well, what fascinated me first was the Eastern philosophy. They said you have to learn how to love before you can kill. I think that's why I was given a daughter before I was finally given a son.
Yeah. So what do you mean by that though? Like be able to love before you kill? As far as like the fighting goes.
You have to learn how to heal someone before you can kill them.
Right.
It's a healing art. Martial arts is a passive art. Like George St. Pierre has a lot of class.
Yeah. What do you think of George St. Pierre?
He's got a lot of class.
As far as his fighting style goes.
I think he's got a lot of class. I think he's great.
He's real well-rounded. He's a good wrestler.
And he got class. He doesn't trash talk.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You had a lot of class as a fighter, right? And obviously there was your opponents where you got to be able to give it to them as far as trash talking. You know what I mean? How old were you when you actually first had your first fight? Around the time, like what age?
I think when I was in 4th or 5th grade at East Aurora Middle School, I was going up against 19-year-old black belts. And I was winning them in point tournaments.
Wow. And that was, in what practice were you doing?
Point tournaments.
Okay.
Adult tag.
Right. Okay. So from there, when did you actually have an opportunity to, I guess, really get into like a circuit as far as like, you know, getting real deal, actually striking?
Well, I used to work at a Randall's gym that was in Clarence.
Okay.
And I had about 30 students there. And then when I took the first UFC, it was next to a McDonald's. And I was retired. And I called LeVar Davey, Center for Entertainment. I saw the ad. And it was $50,000 to whoever wins the tournament.
Wow.
And I've been in a million tournaments like that my whole life.
Yeah.
So I called up, they said, "Who's this?" I said, "Who's this?" I said, "This is my dad." I said, "This is Kevin Rosier. This is silent on the phone." And then I said, "I'll fight anybody again." And there was a guy from the Benny the Jet Chuck North Center that was Drew. My first fight was against Zane Frazier. Then I lost to Gerard Godot. Hey, Gerard. And then, but that was back then. And I'd like to say one of my sponsors, Lenova Pizzeria.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Locally known. It's a great pizzeria. So listen, leading into UFC 1, that's like prolific because that's what started everything. As big as UFC is today, like that's where it all started. Like in the
Well, I was 66-8. All 66 wins by knockout.
Yeah. And that's when people were actually fighting numerous fights in the same night. You know, like there's some people that would fight up to like how many fights a night, do you think?
Well, you get, the first one was me, Frederick Smith, Ken Shamrock, Taylor Tooley, Gerard Godot, of course the Gracie family. Hello Hickson, hello Leo. And the Gracies are great. They marketed, they're brilliant. And I'd like to say hello to Big John Paul McCarthy. Hey John, I should have beat Joe Charles, but I had that armbar. My fault, John. Joe Galloway Charles, ever doing good in California. Love you, Galloway.
So in that fight, like when you know coming in, who was actually in UFC 1 we're talking about here, which is just a legendary start.
The first fight was Gerard Godot against Taylor Tooley.
Okay, who was your first fight against?
Zane Frazier.
All right, and you won that match.
That was a tough fight. He broke his hands on my jaw.
So you were able to tell us just a little bit about that fight between you and Zane Frazier, who was a pretty well-known fighter himself.
Well, he beat Frank Dukes.
Right, okay. Now Frank Dukes, folks, if you're not aware, is the individual they actually made a movie after in, I believe it was 1987, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Who's a European gymnast with a dance background who got taken to the cleanup by Gladys Portuguese.
Right. Now, Zane Frazier was actually able to defeat Frank Dukes, who's a pretty well-known fighter. And Kevin was able to defeat Zane Frazier in this tournament, in the first tournament.
Well, it came to 458. In a 458, he busted his hand on my jaw. I knew I had him. He hit me with everything he had. He busted his jaw. He knocked out 4 of my teeth. So then I got him up against the fence, beat him down. And then at 458 in the first round, I picked up my hand. I did the Rosier stomp that was heard all over the world.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Rosier stomp?
Yep. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the Rosier stomp. That was kind of like your signature.
Well, it was heard around the world. I made it famous, didn't I?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So you know you were able to beat Zane Frazier, and then you advanced on to the next round.
And then Gerard busted my ribs.
Right. Now talk a little bit about Gerard. You know, he used to come out there. He had the white long pants on. You know, no shirt, slippery. He used to come out a little taped up. Now your style was kind of like just keep coming at you. It seemed like you were never.
I was way overweight, and the altitude he got to me, man.
Yeah, but
I was way overweight.
You just kept coming at him though. Like you didn't like backwards. You never go backwards. I noticed in studying your fights, which is obviously it's a good thing because you keep
Too many headshots.
Yeah, but you could take the blows. So the thing about can you tell us a little bit about that fight though with Gerard Godot?
He took out my legs, and he stomped on and broke 5 of my ribs with that stomp.
Wow. Did you feel it right away? Did you know that the ribs were broke?
Well, after the interview, I said, "What are you doing out of retirement?" So I said, "It's entertainment."
Right. Now, the thing about that is Gerard Gordeau was actually able to advance on to the final round, right, against Royce Gracie? Okay. So for you to be able to lose to the individual that, went head-to-head in the finals against Royce Gracie, who was a huge champion in the UFC, says a lot. You know what I mean?
Well, then it was myself, Gerard Gordeau, Dave Beneteau, Brian Johnson. We traveled with Brain Dragons in Minnesota, and we fought for Siam first Tiger match. I wrestled Siam first Tiger match, the legend of Japan, for Antonio Inoki. I've been to Japan 4 times. I hold the All Japan World title 3 times.
Wow. Let me ask you a question. If you could think of one time, like, what's the worst beating you ever put on somebody? In the ring, like in a professional match. Because I know that there's countless. You had a lot of knockouts.
There were boxers that they put me in that shouldn't have been in the ring with me.
Really?
I really hurt a lot of boxers.
Yeah. Now, you heard a lot of boxers just because they only had one style. They weren't really...
I hear some guys with rib shots. I busted a lot of guys' ribs.
You used to go to the body a lot?
Yeah. And they have a great hook, jab, uppercut.
Yeah.
You see my fights?
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to go to the body, didn't I?
Yeah.
The one thing that makes me better, I'm a better instructor than I'm a fighter. I'm a terrible fighter. I don't want the students to take the same punishment I took.
Right. Now, why is that?
Because I don't want to end up brain dead like me.
Just to be able to go for longevity, obviously, I need to take less shots, you could go longer. And I think that you make a good point there, because as the UFC has gone on, you see a lot more fighters being a lot more careful, taking things to the ground. You see a lot more grappling. There's still a lot of strikers out there and stuff, but you could see how it has evolved a lot. Now, do you try to stay up a little bit about on current fighting and stuff?
I do, but I look at the money these guys are making nowadays.
No, yeah, it's nuts.
I was doing it for chump change.
Yeah, there's huge purses out there, especially with these guys.
Hey, Dana White, am I ever going to get in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, you gotta get Dana. You gotta get him in there, Dana.
Dana White, do you know who I am?
Kevin Rosier. All right, so
Does Dana White know who I am?
I would assume so.
How come I haven't got a check from him?
He's gonna know after this. All right, so after the thing here is when you got into ultimate fighting, actually mixed martial arts in the octagon, that was after you had a long reign and successful career in boxing and in kickboxing.
Well, I fought for Cedric Kushner, I fought for Heavyweight Explosion, I fought for Don King, I fought for Butch Lewis, I fought for Carl Cobb.
That's what we want to hear about, Kevin. Tell us a little bit about. Just give us some names of some of the people that you faced off.
I used to fight at Heavyweight Explosion. I used to fight against the top boxers in the world.
Now, who were some of the boxers that you went against that you think the public would know? You talked a little bit about Trevor Berbick.
I got 150 rounds with Trevor Berbick. I was Tommy Morrison sparring partner in Lexington, Kansas. Tommy Morrison was John Wayne's cousin. I was in Louisiana, and John Brown from Ringside Equipment flew me up to spar with Tommy. Tommy busted up 6 of my ribs. And then a couple years later, when I was UFC 1, training with Master Toddy, I saw Tommy at the Shark Club, and Tommy had his entourage with him, and I just went up to him and I said, Tommy, you probably were going to end up like every other white heavyweight.
Right. Now,
I'm real good friends with Tommy Morrison.
Yeah, he had the belt for a little while, for the heavyweight belt, right? Now,
yeah, he's a good guy.
Who did he get the belt from? Michael Moore, was it?
I don't know, I was Alex Stewart's sparring partner too.
Right.
And Michael Moore's. When I ran Club Boca Raton, Florida for 6 years.
Michael Moore actually won the belt from George Foreman.
Right.
97.
I took the U.S. team to Moscow when I fought the 7'6" Russian.
Yeah.
In Planet Hollywood.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, Oleg Taktarov, the Russian bear, I love you, Oleg.
Now, you talked a little bit about Master Toddy. I haven't had an opportunity to be able to do too much research on him at all. Can you tell us, because he's come up a little bit about Master Toddy throughout the night. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
He's the master.
Have you actually had the opportunity to study under him?
And train with him.
And train with him. All right. So where was he located? Where did you
I met him in Vegas, but he fought Bob Chaney School.
Now, did you actually ever face off against any of his students?
No.
No.
His students would kill me.
Really? Because they were a whole different type of training. Like
Anthony Mills has a school here in Buffalo. Anthony Mills.
Mm-hmm. He still has a school here?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Niagara Falls.
Do you ever make your way around some of the places that you used to visit, some of like the older gyms and stuff anymore, or no? Just
Well, Body Blocks. Hello, everybody at Body Blocks.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
No, Kevin Cunningham from KC Fitness.
KC Fitness, that's in Buffalo?
Yeah.
Okay, is it still open?
Of course, Kevin Cunningham.
Where's that located?
Victoria Square.
Yeah, because I've heard of that gym before. So progressing like through the ranks and stuff, going from, just starting off training at such a young age and moving forward from there, what do you think, like, at what point, because your career was a very long span, as far as like statistics go, you go back to like the early 80s, like as far as like starting to where like you started keeping like stats of wins and losses, you know what I mean? I know that you probably had a lot of fights like under circuit and underground circuits, and that's something that we'd like to ask you about in a second. But what do you think, what year were you actually like in your prime? Like when did you
In 235, nobody can touch me.
What year was that around? Like when you were around 235, as far as 235 pounds. Is that going back to like 89?
83, I believe.
Okay, 83.
At 235. At 235. Ladies, at 235, I was a good looking guy.
Yeah, is that when you had the long hair?
The mullet.
Yeah, yep.
You saw the picture of the mullet?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Long blonde, ladies.
Business in the front, party in the back. So.
Oh, you saw those pictures, huh?
Oh yeah.
Did I have the original mullet? Did I have the original mullet?
Yeah, that was the perfect time for the mullet. Talk a little bit about the mullet. Like it first came into existence in like the early 80s. So 1983, it was like at its height. So that was the best time to wear it,
Hey, long blonde hair, didn't I?
Yeah. So, talking a little bit about the underground fights though, like, was there a lot of spots, not only like in New York and like Buffalo, New York or New York City, but just all over like the country? Was there a lot of spots to where you partook in underground fighting as far as
a lot of Manhattan.
bare knuckles, just
a lot of Manhattan.
Yeah. What? Tell us a little bit about that, because that's just like really no holds barred, just bare knuckle, last man standing type of thing.
Well, after working at Studio 54, I used to bare knuckle fighting on the side.
Now, when did you work at Studio 54?
I don't know, you'd have to ask Keith Perla.
Now, talk about a serious nightclub. Studio 54, obviously, is the old.
I was the head doorman.
Mm-hmm. Now, that was actually owned by the Ian.
Chief Rebellion, Freddie Cashman.
Yeah,
There's only a couple orders.
Ian Schrager, too. So, yeah, talk about celebrities. I mean, you must have obviously rubbed elbows with the best of them as far as celebrities go. Can you tell us about some celebrities that you...
Well, I worked at Chrysalis Records. It's in Nassau Coliseum before the mayor was out. And then in Vegas, I worked for Dino. That's the way it's got to be, because that's the way, like, some girls.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when you were at Studio 54, though, you actually worked there.
Yes.
How long? Just like a couple months?
I had my own balconies.
Jeez. Now, what used to go on those balconies? Probably some pretty wild stuff, right?
You know, young man.
I've seen, I've done my research as far as that goes. I mean, that was a specific era, Like, you're never gonna see that again.
No kids in tow.
Right.
And then there was a Continental.
Right.
And then there was a Playboy Club here in Buffalo. I'd like to say hello to Andy and Dominic. It's Dominic and Andy at Bada Bing.
Yep, that's an excellent local spot.
Where UFC fights.
So, I'll tell you this right now. What we want to hear from you, and what the public wants to hear from you, is just that gritty story and exactly like what takes place in the ring. When you get into the ring, right? When you go there, is there a specific place that your mind goes when you're standing in front of your opponent and you know that it's just you against him?
It's called Molly, art of abstinence. You remove that body from the mind. I used to look in the mirror and say, no matter what happens, You're not gonna get up. You're gonna get up. You're gonna get up. You're gonna get up. It's a psych. I just psyched myself. I was in Thailand one time, and I just stared at the mirror so hard, I shattered the mirror. I thought it was a good-looking guy, but I cracked the mirror, and it was 6 inches long and a quarter inch wide, and I went like this for 20 minutes, and the mirror shattered.
So, talking a little bit about Dan Severn, I'm sorry.
I fought him twice.
Yeah.
We fought at the Hog Wild Rodeo.
Now, what was that? It was like a bar?
It was a biker convention.
Okay. How many people you think were in the audience?
It was the largest biker convention in the world.
Wow.
And the bikers thought we were crazy. Hello, ladies at the biker convention.
Now, how did those fights go? Because Dan Severn, he's a pretty well-known athlete for his time.
Well, I threw him down on one again. I reversed him once.
Yeah.
But then the second fight, he broke his hand on my skull.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you used to use your head to your advantage as far as when opponents would try to strike you?
I used it as a punching bag.
Because they would say, like, the top of the head's the hardest part of the body, you know?
Guys used to get tired hitting me in the face.
Yeah.
I used to drop my hands a lot.
As you were going in?
Well, me and Mike Labrie, I dropped my hands.
Yeah.
I never got paid for that fight.
Really?
The promoter took off with 50 grand.
Wow.
I want my 50 grand!
There was probably a lot of shady business that took place as far as promoters and stuff went back then, as far as like the fights go and stuff. There's probably a lot of money that a lot of the fighters missed out on, right?
I never got paid a penny.
Yeah. What was, if you don't mind us asking, what was the biggest purse you were ever involved in as far as a fight, if you remember?
When I won the All Japan World Championship.
And what year was that? Do you remember?
I think it was 1987.
Okay.
1987 was the year. In 1987, I fought at the Keys Arena in San Francisco, Chinatown. I had to fight for Tom Latuli with Rick and Dick Rufus. Hello, Rick. Hello, Dick Rufus. But I would like to say hello to my managers. Mick and Martin McNamara, Twin Dragon Kung Fu and Kickboxing. Ralphie Sasso, Frank Sasso, Crumbler 33, Roman Elefantoni, Clifton El Cazadora, and Nick Vickers, Jeremy Elliott. And Rick Cornell, Reno, the ECW Hardcore Champion, which is one of mine living in Vegas. Hello, Las Vegas!
What was your best move in the ring? Like, what was your signature?
My front kick.
Your front kick? No, that's just the straight, like...
Boom, keep them off.
Right. Is that something, where would you aim? Like abdomen or kind of like lower body, hips?
Depends what the rules were.
Is that, like, were you able to get it up right around their face?
I used to be able to throw a crescent kick and drop it down and crush their shoulder blades.
What was your strongest punch?
My jab was quick.
Yeah? Did you like to switch up, or did you lead a lot left or right?
Don't take this the wrong way, but I go both ways.
Right.
Ladies, you know which way I go.
Yeah. So, you're right-handed, correct?
I'm left-handed. Jab, cross.
But you could switch it up. I've seen you in fights.
Yeah.
You have to be able to go both ways, like you stated, as far as fighting goes. So, would you be able to say that your strongest punch would be the left jab?
My overhand rights were pretty devastating.
Yeah.
Especially when I hit to the body.
Yeah. All right. Now, are you big on combinations?
Jab to the nose, cross to the nose, hook to the body, uppercut, or snake in Thailand. Straight down the forehead.
Yeah. If you catch somebody with an elbow, that's it. That's just like a razor hitting you. You know.
Snake. Cobra.
What is that? You just
Man.
come up and come down right on them?
Open this.
So, of all your time, like, training, how many years did you actually, like, spend, like, mastering your skill?
My whole life.
Yeah. So you obviously miss it a lot, right?
I'm the creator and pioneer of my own style.
Yeah.
My students still, I love my students. I wanted my students to be better than me.
Yeah. So how are some of your students doing?
They're doing great.
Right. Do you still stay in touch with some of them?
I try. But my students know who I am.
Yeah. Everybody knows who you are. You're a pioneer, like you just stated. That's why we're here having this interview. And, we're going to touch on a lot of topics moving forward.
You really think I was a pioneer, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the statistics speak for themselves. You know, like I said, you could go to the Wikipedia page, check it out, and you know, it's all the proof is in the pudding. We're gonna be able to show the viewers a lot of clips, and we're gonna try to talk to a few people that you know actually had the opportunity to train with you as well. But you know, talking a little bit about because we're gonna continue to move on and progress into other things, but keeping it like on fighting, you know, because that's where it's at. You know, that's where your heart was for so many years. You know what I mean? Like as far as fighting. Now there's a lot of fights that you had to do, and a lot of fights. Did you ever go against an opponent that you really just had it out for? Not necessarily like disrespected. Obviously, I know that you respected all your opponents, but is there ever anybody that you just said, "Look, I'm gonna kick this guy's ass"? Is there anybody that you ever just wanted to go against, and then when you got in there with them, let them have it?
Rudy Cobos,
Yeah.
Dan Voss. I beat both of them.
Now were they shit talkers?
They're from Oxnard, California, way before us.
Mm-hmm. Now let me ask you a question. Did a lot of your opponents, did you have an opportunity to hear any chatter ever before like your fights? To hear them like kind of talking smack and
Yeah.
Did you ever partake in like saying things back, or did you just do your talking in the ring?
In the ring.
Mm-hmm. Right, because you had to have like a sense of like pride, you know.
If you watch my fights, I always bowed in and bowed out.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I?
Yeah.
I always bowed in and bowed out.
Mm-hmm.
I never trash talked.
Right.
I always tried to make it entertaining for the fans.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Kevin. Who was the toughest opponent you ever went against?
Maurice Smith.
Okay.
Mo.
Tell
Out
us.
of theologian.
And you fought him how many times? Just once?
Once. We fought in Japan. He broke my shin bone and cracked open my skull with a right crescent kick.
What type of fighter was he?
Maurice Smith? Mo. Seattle Washington. Kirk Jensen was the trainer. Maurice Smith. Hello, Mo.
So was he like a striker? Was he like mixed?
Best fighter of all time.
Yeah.
Maurice Smith.
Yeah,
Mo.
he's pretty known. I've heard his name come up a few times.
Maurice Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Better known as Mo. Him and Kirk Jensen. They killed me in Japan.
Now, how long did that fight last between you and Mo?
2 rounds.
Yeah.
He broke my shin and cracked open my ear.
Wow. How long did it take you to recover from that?
I fought a week later
Really?
against Melvin Cole in Dayton the arena. Melvin blew out my knee. I was promised by Kirk Jensen a rematch. I never got a shot back at the world title. One time I defended the WK title 12 times in 1 year.
Wow. So you were the type of fighter that wouldn't sit back with the belt and say, "Hey, I got the belt," like you see some of these fighters doing now, like Mayweather and like boxers and stuff.
How long have you known about me?
I've known about you for a while now.
Did I ever sit back? Did I ever dodge anybody?
No, that's what I'm saying here. You took everybody on. You know what I mean? Now, touching, because you just talked about Maurice Smith and some of the injuries that you've endured, and then you fought like a week and a half later and then took a knee injury. Like, a lot of these fights that you've had, whether they were underground or in the ring or whatever, you probably were fighting like with a lot of injuries and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
you just kind of just like dealt with it and fought through it, you know? What was the worst injury that you ever fought with?
I had a fight in Thailand one time. And a tie hit me below the ribs. And I was throwing up blood. And I knew that I had to finish him off in the next round. So I was throwing up a ton of blood. So I went out there in the 3rd round. I think there were 3-minute rounds. And I threw an overhand right. And then he missed. I threw a spinning back hit. It missed. And then I came out with a rear flying roundhouse and caught my shin up against the skull and knocked him out cold, my shin. It was like a double aerial flip flying kick.
Wow. And then he just went right down. That was it.
Yeah, it was in Thailand.
Damn. Thailand, they breed a lot of serious fighters down there.
Yeah, they do.
How much time did you spend in Thailand?
I believe one time 6 months straight.
Okay. Now down in Thailand, would you consider how like, because that's when you were like at the top of your game, right? That's when you had all the titles. You were fighting a lot down there. You were probably getting treated like a king down there, right? To say the least. You know, I know I've never been to Thailand or anything. I know it's like a beautiful place, excellent food. The geography is great and stuff, but to be able to do what you were doing back then, like the people probably really took care of you. You know, am I right in saying that? Or
Hello, ladies.
yeah. So did you ever go against like some real scrappy, like quick, like smaller opponents to where it was like, holy shit, how am I gonna defend against this guy? Like, because obviously you were the type of fighter that, you know, brute force, talented, skilled, had a lot of wisdom, knew how to use it in the ring. But a lot of these guys that you had to go against were probably a lot faster than you.
A lot quicker.
So how would you combat their style as far as like some of these smaller dudes?
Well, I learned after a while after they shoot on my legs.
Yeah.
What I would do is I would stop the shoot by going here, and using a way to get them and cranking them like this and get them in rear naked chokehold while holding a pool cue.
Right. And what happened?
I had to leave the establishment because people get stupid
Yeah.
while holding a pool cue. Can you imagine me holding a pool cue, young lady? What do you think I can do with a pool cue?
Mm.
She's smiling, she's visualizing, aren't you? Me holding a pool cue. Not a pretty picture, is it?
Right, right.
She shook her head like this. You're visualizing me with a pool cue, aren't you? She's smiling, I got her laughing.
If you get a pool cue in your hand, I mean, you're almost like it's almost like you're holding the bow. You can do a lot.
Exactly.
With it, you know, especially with the trunk of it. Jeez. You know, where did you ever have to use one? Yeah. So tell us a little bit about like the feeling that you get after a win. Like after like, you know, you just trained, you're going against a tough opponent, and you know you won. You were victorious. Like how does it make you feel? Everybody feels good to win, you know.
I never did it for the money. I wanted to prove. When I was a little kid, I had a speech impediment, I was born with a lisp. I was picked on. I got on my lisp. At one time I could speak 17 languages fluently. I got picked on. I had a bad lisp.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I said I want to be the greatest fighter of all time. I guess Wikipedia doesn't lie, does it?
No, it doesn't. Do you feel like you were able to accomplish everything that you wanted to accomplish with your fighting career?
It cost me marriages. I'm not an easy guy to be married to.
Mm. Yeah, I mean it's gotta be tough to, you know, because you're fighting. Like, you know, there's so much involved. There's so much training.
I was never home.
Right, traveling. Did you?
Amy, Tina, Michelle, I want to thank you for marrying me. Thank you for giving me 5 beautiful kids. I have 5 beautiful children. Mm-hmm. I love my children. I love my country.
Mm-hmm. You actually served your country. Kevin's actually a vet as well. He's actually a Medal of Honor winner. You know, a very stand-up guy, and he obviously loves his family, loves his kids. And if we could just real fast, just pan over here to the wall. This is actually a card that was given to him by his daughter, which he holds very near and dear to his heart. And inside, there's a lot of nice messages in there as well.
My son gave me that.
His son, sorry.
Maximilian. The heir to my throne. Do you think he's telling people stories about his dad?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're all over the internet, man. You know. I mean, it's all positive stuff. You know. You were a good fighter. You know what I mean? You got a lot to be proud of as far as your career. You know. So you actually won the Medal of Honor. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I'm very interested in it.
A couple years ago at the Cleveland Clinic, Dr. Lewis Pritchard III coming from here to here, took off the pericardium around my heart. We removed 4 ribs and they found shrapnel in my back from Granada.
Wow. How much time did you spend in active duty?
6 years.
Is it like a special forces type of thing? Would I be accurate in saying that you were like a mercenary? Kind of like sent in on specific duties?
Let's just say I raised my hand every time they need somebody to go.
Right. And a lot of people, everybody has a lot of respect for you, for doing that. You know what I mean?
Do they really?
Oh yeah. You know that my father's a Vietnam vet. You know him from VA and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody has a lot of respect for what you guys have done and for what people are still doing for our country. It's important.
I know your father, don't I?
Yeah. Yep. So, talking about just in closing, just for tonight, talking about what we've been talking about. I'd like to close it with talking a little bit more about just going back to the beginning real quick. In the beginning of the interview, you stated that you first started training and kind of getting into it when you were around 6 years old. Now that's really, really young. Was it your father that got you into it? Like, how did you get into it?
I saw a demonstration at the Boys Club in East Aurora. I got fascinated with Eastern philosophy.
So from 6 years of age,
I trained non-stop.
what point did it hit you that you said to yourself, and you brought it up in the interview, Kevin, you said, I want to be the best fighter to ever do it. I want to be the best fighter ever. When did you say that to yourself?
When I was 16 years old.
So when you were, because you're a pretty big guy, when you were 16 years old, were you like, bigger than a lot of the others?
I can play basketball.
Yeah?
I can kick a soccer ball. I can kick a field goal.
Yeah, to which for Rosier, you still hold the field goal record. How many yards was that?
I think I kicked a 62-yarder and I had 10 field goals over 50.
That's crazy. That's like serious college prospect. Did you ever get noticed by any colleges?
Of course I did, but I was making too much money as a doorman.
Right.
Why did I go to college? I was making twice as much as the teachers.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I went to school of hard knocks.
So what about just real quick though, you talked a little bit about the style that you created, and what's the name of that?
Rosier Karate, Rosier's Kickboxing, and Rosier's MMA.
So you actually have 3 specific styles for 3 specific styles of fighting. What do you feel is the strongest? Obviously they're all strong, I know that. But let me ask you this. This is important. And your Wikipedia stats speak for themselves. So, it's easy to see where you were the strongest. But where do you think that you were the strongest? Was it kickboxing? Was it boxing? Or was it MMA?
Aikido.
Yeah? You used to use that a lot.
Later on in life I learned it.
Okay.
How to redirect.
Right.
Not to get hit anymore.
Now, is that kind of, not to get off topic, but can you refer me to somebody that you was Steven Seagal, a keto type of guy? Right? So you're basically using your body and your weight, a lot of shifting.
But remember, I'm a master. Take your left hand slowly and touch my nose. You have break here, you have lock here, you have break here. Pressure point here, snap here.
Wow, just like that.
Just like that. Did you feel it?
Yeah, I felt it like how if you just went that way with some force. Let me, let's ask you this. And again, like some of these questions I know are kind of, really homing in and asking you to respond in a certain way, but have you ever used a move like you just showed to us on a person and actually like broke an elbow or broke a bone or broke a leg? Or because I could just the motion that you just did it there, I could imagine it at full speed.
Once again, remember our master. Take your left hand and touch my nose slow. Crack, manipulation, time for you to leave the club, sir.
Wow.
What'd I just do to you?
Just basically put me in a position to where...
And what happened? I would have put my knee in your nose at the same time.
Yeah, then I would have been down for the count. So that's
I'm a better teacher than I'm a fighter.
Yeah, that's the keto right there.
Now real quick, with your right hand, try to throw a backhand in my face slow.
Oh, I felt it crack. So that's just like when somebody's coming at you like fast though, like this is just automatic for you to just kind of be like real quick. Like does it almost slow down a little? Like they say in like football, like Ray Lewis, the linebackers, they say that everything just kind of slows down and it goes into slow motion.
Take your right hand and slam me in my right ear slow. No, the other hand.
Oh shit! And then you just kind of drive it in. Where are the pressure points that you could like really attack somebody? Damn, so you could really just take somebody's ear right off. Alright.
They're called meridians.
What is the best target to hit somebody? Let's say that somebody's right in your face, they're being an asshole. You don't necessarily want to cause any trouble, but you know that if you don't hit them, they're gonna hit you. Like I would say like the nose, or like where's the best place Did you hear that crack? So yeah, because if you go for because that's an easy target. See, nobody would ever think to just like go for a pinky. But if you're involved in a fight and you get your pinky torn that way, then the odds are in a street fight you're gonna be like, whoa, and try to retreat. You know?
Did you hear a crack?
Yeah.
That bag of out Rice Krispies.
So, what do you think of? Are you a fan of headbutts at all?
I've used them a couple times. What happens when I hit somebody?
Probably ends their night pretty fast. What do you think of just a straight nose shot? Because what does that do? I've hit some people in the nose and stuff like that. I've been hit before. That'll kill somebody. That's a kill shot. So, like, it's just, if you hit somebody square in their nose, it causes their eyes to well up, you know?
Watch this, don't move.
Yeah, and it's just the face, great.
These battered hands are all you own. This broken heart is turned to stone. Go hang your glory on the wall. There comes a time when castles fall, and all that's left is shifting in the sand. You're out of time, you're out of place. Look at your face, that's the measure of a man. This coat that fits you like a glove, these dirty streets you learn to love. So welcome back, my long lost friend. You've been to hell and back again, and God alone knows how you crossed that span. Back on the beat, back to the start, trust in your heart.